In the last episode we got Fresh To Bis his Woodwork Glory 25 achievement. After that we leveled up cooking and fishing a little bit so we can start off with the achievements related to the professions. And now we start off from where we last left off. Fresh To Bis already has a serious plan on how to do things. He's not gonna start with the easy achievements as he mentioned in the last episode. So we are going to do first the achievements that actually require doing some daily quests or reputations that you can actually obtain only by questing and you cannot farm at once. So a perfect example related to fishing is the Kalu'ak reputation. You can get it only by doing quests, and at the very end you even need to do a daily quest or two in order to get to Exalted. It's not only because of the achievement, you get some more perks when you do this reputation. But now let's speak on how it's actually done. I decided to start here in Dragonblight and complete the quest chain here. It's a quest chain of around 15 quests, nothing special. Every single one of them is really close to the camp, you do not need to travel a lot. And many of you watching most likely will already have those quests completed, if you have done War Master or just if you were leveling through the zone and you decided to come to this camp to complete those easy quests. But Fresh To Bis doesn't have a lot of quests completed, so the good part is that he can easily track what he needs to do. A perfect example of this is, as you can see, on the tooltip when I put my mouse on any fishing school I can see if I need to fish from it for the achievement or not. So while Fresh To Bis is actually doing some quests and achievements, he's actually going to fish from different schools and he does not need to go and search for them because while questing he's gonna find them anyway. But now back to the questing. After Fresh To Bis completed the entire quest chain here in Dragonblight, there is 2 more camps that you can actually visit and do some quests in order to gain a reputation. In each camp you have 1 daily quest that you can complete each day, but it's gonna be available from the next day after you do the quests. So our next stop is at Boren Tundra. And just as I told you 1 minute ago, while Fresh To Bis was flying towards Boren Tundra, he found 2 more schools that he actually needs to fish from for the achievements. But when Fresh To Bis arrived at the Boren Tundra camp, he noticed that he has completed all of the quests here while he was leveling. There is only 1 quest available, which he didn't complete because he didn't need at this point. Also, the daily quest was available, so Fresh To Bis needed to do it real quick so he can gain his daily reputation. And just like that, the daily quest is complete, and because Fresh To Bis is a human, as you know, humans get 10% increased reputation, it's gonna be easier for you as a human, but the difference is going to be 1 more day of daily questing as another race. We get 1650 reputation per daily quest. So now we need to go to the 3rd camp of the Kalu'ak, and there it gets interesting. And the 3rd questing hub is in Howling Fjord, and here you are going to need to do a little bit more than 10 quests because there is a pretty long quest chain which at the end will give you a lot of reputation to the Kalu'ak, but also it will help you throughout your journey for Lore Master in the future if you decide to do it. Fresh To Bis is going to do it for sure, so he's happy with it. And to be honest, the quests here are extremely easy. Fresh To Bis even found them relaxing at some point because it's always nice to run away from all of the ICCs, Ruby Sanctums and etc. And so after Fresh To Bis completed all of the quests available in the bottom part of the camp, there is 1 NPC next to the lift that you can get down. His name is Orphus of Kamagua and he gives around 4 quests. But there is more than those 4 quests because after you start the quest chain from him, a little bit after completing 1 or 2 quests, you need to go down to this camp. And I am talking about the Skawawak Point. Here you have a decent quest chain of around, maybe, I'm not pretty sure, but around 20 quests. Not all of them will actually give you a reputation towards the Kalu'ak. Some of them, I might say, that are pretty hilarious. By the way, you're gonna need to do some pretty funny stuff, and I really liked it, to be honest. Fresh To Bis actually felt good by doing something different than the hardcore raiding, progression and farming of gold and etc. And now I wanna give you one more tip. When you start a quest chain and some camp, be sure to finish it to the very end, even if it takes you a little bit more time. Because one day when you try to do Lore Master, you're gonna be thankful for this advice. I'm pretty sure about that. And Fresh To Bis actually did just that. This was the last quest that Fresh To Bis needed to do here in this camp, so after all of the quests were completed, he can go back to Orpheus so he can do one more quest for him, and after that quest was completed, Orpheus is gonna send you back down to the main camp. And then finally you are going to unlock the daily quest that you can do here. And if you have not done this quest, it's gonna be pretty funny for you. Now I'm gonna take 30 seconds of your time to tell you exactly how to do it, because most of the people do not actually know how to and need to Google, watch videos on how this happens. Now I'm gonna teach you. All around Scalawag Point you're gonna find the school of tasty fish. You're gonna get a net from the quest and you just need to go and throw the net on the schools of fish so you can collect them. Just be sure to collect 5 or 6 schools at least before you go and do the quest itself. Then you can use the tasty fish that you actually caught with the net and you can spam it on a reef bull so it can follow you. If you have not taken at least 6 schools of tasty fish, you might not have enough tasty fish to actually take the bull back to the cow. But if you listen to Fresh To Bis, everything will be fine and you're gonna complete this quest for like 2 or 3 minutes. And then you're gonna witness this lovely moment on how the attracted reef bull is making love with the reef cow. But there is something bad about this thing, because if we open up the quest and we actually take a look at what the description of the quest is, we are not gonna feel that lovely anymore. But yeah, Fresh To Bis turned in the quest and this is everything that he can do for day 1. The thing that he noticed is that you are gonna get almost to Exalted reputation when you complete all of the quests. We're gonna need just one more daily quest and on the next day we are going to get the achievement and the perks that I was talking about. But until the next day, the grind continues. And Fresh To Bis went to Terrakar Forest once again because, as you know, in the last episode we started searching for Mr. Pinchy, a potential big nemesis of Fresh To Bis, because only God knows how many tries it's actually going to take us to get Mr. Pinchy. And while Fresh To Bis was here, he has decided that why only fish for Mr. Pinchy when we can do 2 things simultaneously. So Fresh To Bis decided that he is going to farm the Shatari Skyguard reputation. First, you get an achievement from it, second, you get mounts from it, and third, you get a tabard from it. And if you can get Mr. Pinchy, and that time while we were farming the reputation, that's a big bonus. So while Fresh To Bis was waiting for a raid to gather up to go and take more achievements from PvE, he was fishing constantly in the Highland mixed schools and he was doing the quests needed for the Shatari Skyguard reputation. The farm here is pretty easy. You do not have that many quests that you actually can complete here. You have some of the quests who start in Shatrat, but Fresh To Bis is not gonna do them now. He has other plans. Basically, you run around, you kill ads. After that, you can exchange the Shadow Dust and the Time Lost Scrolls that you can get for more reputation. And a really important thing, if you see a fishing pool spawn, it's really important to go and get the pool, because you can farm the ads as much as you want, but the Highland mixed schools are really limited, and the harder part is Mr. Pinchy. So just like that, Fresh To Bis is already at friendly reputation with the Shatari Skyguard, and he has fished up a lot of Highland mixed schools. The process is just something like a closed loop, and for his luck, he didn't have any other people here who are actually farming the schools, so everything for now was going according to plan. Then after Fresh To Bis gathered up some materials, he actually started to turn them in here. He turns in the Shadow Dust here, and he has started the quest chain finally. But at one point, Fresh To Bis started to get really frustrated because not enough Highland schools were spawning up at the Shatari Skyguard, because there is 2 more spots in Terukar that they can actually spawn, and you can have a limited amount of schools actually spawn. So if for example you have 2 schools here, one of them should have been in the Shatari Skyguard grounds, but instead it spawned here. So if you want to farm Mr. Pinchy faster, sadly you will need to swap between the different spots, because sometimes you may have up to 4 pools that actually spawn here, and until you actually fish them out, you're not gonna get any more of them spawning at the Shatari Skyguard, which is kind of sad. And then it was a Highland school after a Highland school after a Highland school for Fresh To Bis, and still no Mr. Pinchy. Fresh To Bis even got to the point where he has completed almost the entire quest chain, and he even managed to reach Terok and fight with him. And by the way, a quick tip for you: if you're facing Terok for the first time, at one point he will use a bubble on himself, and this bubble will not expire. The thing that you're looking for is a blue flare that he will throw, and after that you need to take Terok on the blue flare, wait 3 to 5 seconds, and the bubble will disappear. And then you can finally defeat him and complete the quest. At this point, Fresh To Bis has spent around 1.5 hours of fishing, doing different quests, farming reputation, and at this point another person came here and also started fishing, which made things even worse. But then, around 10 minutes later, something cool happened. Fresh To Bis got invited into a group, so this was the perfect moment to go and do something different, while you have people here farming the Highland mixed schools, and that is a 10-man Onyxia run for the Many Whelps achievement. Fresh To Bis was extremely happy because you don't see Many Whelps runs every single day, and while the group was looking a little bit funky for Many Whelps while having 5 Paladins, I was optimistic, and I think that it's gonna work out perfectly for us. So let's see what actually happened. The achievement itself is not that hard if you have good enough coordination. Well, for some reason, not a lot of people actually do have that good of a coordination. I mean, there is a lot of players who actually do have it, but it's hard to get them at one place. So the idea is, after the first phase of the boss, all of you know that the boss actually flies to the air. When it's there, you're gonna see a lot of Many Whelps spawning. But the problem is that those who spawn naturally do not count for the achievement itself. You need to force more whelps to actually spawn. And you do that by letting 2 people jump down into the whelp eggs and summon eggs. As you know, as you walk through them, you're gonna spawn a lot of whelps. As you can see right now, one person is summoning the whelps from this side and we have one more person from the other side. They are come here in a second. Why do you do them from two different sides? Because by the time that you start damaging these ones, the other ones will come, but eventually you're gonna have some of them actually aggroed well by the tank or even killed if your group is strong enough. So basically we get like 100 whelps on us and we do EOE damage until we kill them. Our healer died, but I don't think that this is an issue because we actually managed to kill them, and this was the hard part. On 10 player it's a little bit easier. On 25 player it's a different story, but I hope that we will manage to do it in the future. Then the boss fight just continues normally, like there's nothing more special. The sad part is that you need to kill the boss to get the achievement itself. Also, there is some more achievements that you can get from here. At the very end, the achievement is complete and Fresh To Bis got 3 achievements because this is the first time that he actually kills Onyxia. We have the Onyxia's Lair achievement, the More Dots achievement and the Many Whelps achievement, so this is 30 more achievement points. But now comes an even cooler moment, because that was not enough for Fresh To Bis. There is even more. We've decided to come to VOA, and I want you to guess right now what we are actually gonna do in VOA 10 player. Of course, we're going to do the Earth, Wind and Fire achievement on 10 player, which is a perfect follow-up after the Many Whelps achievement. Damn, I felt so happy that we're gonna do one of the more rare achievements. And yeah, I know that many people now will argue and say that these achievements are not actually that rare, but for the average player they are rare and hard to get because not a lot of people actually do them. For you as a player who is playing for 15 years or for 10 years here on Warmane, it's easy, but for new players and for the average player it's hard. And now let's speak about the achievement itself. The achievement requires you to kill the fire, the stone and the wind boss at the same time, basically within a short period of time. If you try to pull 3 of the bosses together, it's not gonna work, I can assure you 100%. So we always pull the stone and the fire boss first. We damage the fire boss until he is with around 10% HP. After that, we start damaging the stone boss. And the problem here is, even if you decide to get like 3 tanks, 3 healers with 4 DPS, it's gonna be really hard because, as you can see, there is berserk timers that we need to follow. So if we do not kill the bosses in time, one of them is gonna berserk, then the next one, and we're gonna wipe for sure. As you can see, we're taking a lot of damage with the 2 bosses stacked together. Imagine what it's gonna be if we have 3 of the bosses from the very beginning stacked together. And now currently we are with 2 healers only in order to maximize our DPS. At the very end things went south, and when we've pulled the last boss we started dying one by one because it was hard to manage. And at this point I was worrying a little bit if we are actually going to manage and do this achievement, so we decided to give it a second attempt. We used the absolute same tactic as the last time. This time we damaged the stone boss first. It doesn't matter that much, there's not a big difference. You just need to lower the HP of both of those bosses to around 10% or less, but if it's under 10% you need to be extremely careful not to cleave and kill them. After that only the wind boss was left, and things were looking pretty cool because all of the 3 bosses had really low HP and everyone in the group was still alive. So we've managed to do the achievement, and we even got some more achievements at the end. We got 3 more achievements, so that's 30 more achievement points, and all of this within an hour. I'm pretty happy that I will not need to do this again in the future. At the very end, we even went and killed the ice boss because we already have an ID here, and why not try to kill him, and maybe potentially somebody can get something for off-spec or something like that. I'm not pretty sure. But even if Fresh To Bis is left only with the two Frosties, he's still happy because we have done the 2 harder achievements and we helped out at the very end to the other people. And now is the moment where I want to express my gratitude to the Stefan Discord. And especially to Stefan, because he is the guy who is still hosting Ulduar and all kinds of other achievements every single week. If you have not joined his Discord, guys, now is the moment. I'm gonna leave a link in the description. So Stefan, thank you so much for hosting all of those raids. But let's get back on business. After the raids, Fresh To Bis continued to fish for Mr. Pinchy, and he just got the 500 fish achievement. And sadly, still no Mr. Pinchy even after 500 fish. Like, not all of those 500 were actually Mr. Pinchies, but still, we have 300 plus attempts of Mr. Pinchy and no luck. The best loot that Fresh To Bis has got so far from fishing is this golden scale vendor fish, which costs 6 gold sold to the vendor. At least while this was happening and we were waiting for Mr. Pinchy, we were in a 40-man group for Alterac Valley and we were going to attempt the Alterac Blitz achievement. So the group was full and we was waiting for the leader to queue. As you can see, we're using an add-on so we can queue all together. And Fresh To Bis was under serious pressure because he was like, come on, this try, it should happen. But sadly it didn't happen and we were already in Alterac Valley, but there was a slight issue. Like, not all of us actually got the queue, so we were not the full group inside of Alterac Valley. I mean, we went to the boss and we decided to give it a shot, but as you can see, we were missing like 15 people from the group, so yeah, it's extremely hard to do it like this. So you're gonna see it now on screen. We just got one shot basically. Like, I used my bubble to try and survive for like 10 seconds, but it didn't help, and yeah, we were just dead, so that was a failed attempt. After that, we decided that we're gonna give it another attempt, and Fresh To Bis was just casually fishing in Terokar while waiting for the group to gather up. And then this happened. We finally managed to get Mr. Pinchy. Finally in our bags while we're waiting for the group to gather up, and to be honest, I was amazed. Sadly, we did not get the pet. As you see, we got this ugly debuff where it makes our entire character a red. But what are the odds? Like, we got Mr. Pinchy and a little bit over 500 fish in total, not only for Mr. Pinchy, so around 350 attempts, and we got him. I mean, like, I was happy, but I was also thinking, what if our 3 attempts, our 3 wishes don't actually grant us the pet and we don't take the actual achievement? Like, so there is still more to happen to get the achievement, but we're like 50% done, because 50% of the achievement is to catch Mr. Pinchy. Hopefully we're gonna get it from our first catch. And because you can give it a shot every 4 hours to try out and get Mr. Pinchy, Fresh To Bis decided that he doesn't want to waste any more time, and he instantly went to Ironforge for the second fish that he actually wants to catch. And this is Old Ironjaw. I know that you do not need him for the Salty Title achievement, but Fresh To Bis plans to do all of the achievements, so that doesn't matter. He needs to catch him one way or another. And yet again, it's time for advice. If you plan to catch those rare fishes, be sure to have bag space. As you can see, Fresh To Bis is constantly throwing things out of his bag because it takes a lot of attempts and the bags get filled up pretty quickly if you do not have any space in them. And 1 to 200 attempts at Old Iron Jaw later, we went to Outer Rock again, but we had the same issue once more and we were missing a lot of people from our group. We just couldn't get the queue all together at the same time. And as you're gonna see now what actually happens, like our entire group got one shot for like 30 seconds. We were not even close of killing the boss. So Fresh To Bis was back to Ironforge trying to catch Old Iron Jaw again, while we were planning to do one more attempt and waiting for the deserter to disappear, because when we leave the battleground we get a 15-minute deserter. And then fish after fish after fish, Fresh To Bis was getting extremely close to 1000 fish caught and still no Iron Jaw. That's maybe more than 400 attempts already and he doesn't want to drop. At the end, this was the final situation with Fresh To Bis bags, and so much time passed on that we already have Mr. Pinchy reset on our bags. So now we're gonna do our second attempt at getting the achievement. I'm just gonna leave the original clip to play, so watch and enjoy. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, furious Mr. Pinchy. And sadly, we didn't get Mr. Pinchy from our second attempt. There is just more attempt left from this Mr. Pinchy catch, and I really hope that we're gonna get it. Fresh To Bis even decided to start a stopwatch because he was getting so exhausted from that fishing, hundreds and hundreds of attempts and no luck, and he decided he's gonna spend 20 minutes now. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And in different intervals, he's gonna spend 20 minutes today, 20 minutes the next day, until he finally catches him. And 18 minutes later, we got over 1100 fish caught already, and no Mr. Pinchy and no Iron Jaw. As I just told you, the plan was to stay here for 20 minutes. But it was only a plan. Because 40 minutes later, we're already 1 hour of fishing without any cancellation, and we just got 1500 fish caught and still no Iron Jaw. Fresh To Bis even got to the point where he caught the One Ring. And the problem? We're getting close to 1.6k fishes, we don't have Old Iron Jaw, and we have 2 One Rings. The One Ring dropped 2 times for us already. Like, what are the odds? And then we even got close to 1.8k fishes caught, 1 hour and 44 minutes, and still no Old Iron Jaw. We already have around 1200 attempts here, and I started to ask myself, like, is this guy even going to drop? Like, I thought that Mr. Pinchy is going to be hard. It seems I was wrong. I don't know what got into my head, but I just really wanted to catch Old Iron Jaw. I really wanted to catch him. We got to 2200 fishes caught already and no Old Iron Jaw. Based on my research, it has a 0.1 to 0.3% drop chance. So that means that 80% of people are going to catch him at around 1000 attempts. I'm saying 80%. I know that there is RNG and it may take a lot more. But every catch that you do over 1000 catches increases the chance that you're gonna see him. Well, not progressively. It might even take 10,000 attempts to actually catch him. But come on, like, I caught him on my other character for around 1000 tries. We're already at 1.6k tries and no Iron Jaw. But I really think that Fresh To Bis is a little bit stronger than a fish, like come on. We got our third one ring that dropped and still no old Iron Jaw. At one point, at least Fresh To Bis had some company and he had a little small chat with the people who were trying to catch up old Iron Jaw as well. And even as you can see, Mr. Pinchy is gonna reset soon. We're fishing for 3 hours and 37 minutes without stopping already, and soon we're gonna get it another attempt at Mr. Pinchy. So now with more than 2000 casts, let's see if at least we're gonna get Mr. Pinchy or the pet from Mr. Pinchy. And 3, 2, 1, nope. Again, no Mr. Pinchy. Like we need to start all over again. We need to go and catch Mr. Pinchy one more time. And there is even a chance that we might not get the pet from the second time. So no old Iron Jaw, no Mr. Pinchy. And we have invested like at least 8 hours already. Like seriously, I forgot how hard some of those achievements may be. So Fresh To Bis decided to take a small break because like come on, his head was hurting and he seriously need to change things up a little bit. So he went to Dalaran to do his daily fishing and cooking quest. And this time we get this daily quest, for which we need to cook Northern Stew. But in order to cook Northern Stew, you need to buy the recipe. And this happens right here in Howling Fjord from this NPC. You will need to do a pretty quick quest in order to get the actual recipe. It just requires you to collect 4 chilled meat and you can find it all around Northrend from different beasts. And after that, you just come back, you complete the quest, and you finally get the recipe. You can cook Northern Stew, and you can do this daily quest in Dalaran. There it is. It requires just chilled meat to cook. But before Fresh To Bis goes to Dalaran, he has one more job to do. There is a daily quest that he actually needs to complete if you have not forgotten from the beginning of the episode. Because it's already the next day for me, for you it's the same episode but it's split in 2 different days, Fresh To Bis can finally get his Kalu'ak reputation, and on top of that we got 2 achievements. We got to 10 Exalted reputation and the Tuskarmageddon achievement, which you get when you get Exalted status with the Kalu'ak. And now you're gonna wonder, what are the perks of the Kalu'ak? It's not only this achievement, you get some more perks. From the Kalu'ak you can buy a cool pet, which is one more pet towards your 75 pets achievement, and you can buy a pretty cool fishing pole. If I'm not mistaken, this is the only epic fishing pole that you can get in game. It gives you 30 increased skill in fishing, also it allows you to breathe underwater indefinitely. So we got the pet, we got the pole, and this is how Mr. Pangu looks like. He is so cute, by the way. I like him very much. And after that, Fresh To Bis went to Dalaran to complete his cooking and fishing daily quest here in Northrend, because as you know we need to do this every single day from now on for months ahead. And while here, Fresh To Bis decided to check something else. If you remember from episode 14, Fresh To Bis started to talk about the higher learning achievement. And every time while Fresh To Bis is in Dalaran, he is going to pay a visit to almost every single or even every single spot where a book for that achievement can actually spawn, so he can eventually catch a book and start tracking its respawn timer so he can get the achievement. This is a pretty nasty achievement, in my eyes. So this is the last remaining spot that Fresh To Bis can actually check, and sadly we didn't manage to find even a single book. Like, how is this gonna happen? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that we will find a way to do it. Now with the completion of the fishing quest, we can see that we do not have a waterlogged recipe once again, but at least we're in a raid group, and every time we're in a raid group, you know that something interesting is going to happen. And while Fresh To Bis was waiting for the raid to start, he went to Shatrat so he can do the fishing and cooking daily quests in Outland also, because we need to do them also, maybe for a long time. So Fresh To Bis has completed his daily cooking quest in Outland. He left the raid group so he can do the quest, because most of the quests you cannot do while in a raid group, but the leader invited him back. But sadly, this time from the crate of meat, Fresh To Bis didn't get any rare recipe or basically anything related to the achievements, so now he needs to do the fishing quest also. But sadly, on day number 2 of us doing our Outland fishing quest, we still didn't get any pet or any recipe needed for any of the achievements. But while here, it's a good time to go and try to catch Mr. Pinchy once again, because as you've seen it in this episode, catching him means nothing unless you actually get the pet. So it's something like a flashback, and we start all over from the very beginning and try to catch Mr. Pinchy once again. And if you didn't notice, Fresh To Bis is in a new group because the one that he was previously in fell apart. People decided that they're not gonna do the raid, so yeah, he was waiting for the group to gather up, and he was fishing in all of the 3 possible spots to catch Mr. Pinchy. So much time passed and Fresh To Bis didn't manage to catch Mr. Pinchy. At least he decided to do the Shatari Skyguard reputation, and with this last kill of Terok, he actually managed to do so. So now finally he can go to the vendor, he can buy the tabard, and he can buy all of the mounts that you can get from the Shatari Skyguard, plus this cool pet. Most of the reputations in Outland and Northrend will give you either a tabard, a pet, or for most of Outland's reputations you may even get a mount. So we buy all of the 5 mounts that you can get from this reputation, and we instantly learn on how to ride them. At the very end, this that we got is another achievement. We just got over 25 mounts. We even got to 26 with the last mount that we trained here. So that's one more achievement to the list. And Fresh To Bis is slowly but steadily progressing. So off he goes to fish for Mr. Pinchy once again. A little bit later, a miracle happened, because we got Mr. Pinchy one more time, and still the last cooldown of when we've used him is even not over. We're at almost 3000 casts. We don't have Iron Jaw, but at least we got Mr. Pinchy again. So Fresh To Bis can finally enjoy his Ruby Sanctum 25 heroic in peace when he knows that he has Mr. Pinchy in his bag, and this time hopefully he will get the achievement. As you may remember, last week's Ruby Sanctum was a complete mess, and at the end we didn't manage to kill the boss. This time I was thinking that we might have better luck, but as you can see on our first attempt, since the very beginning, we had a wipe. We didn't even manage to get into phase 2 of the boss. Then we had 3 people replaced in the group, and we did a second attempt. And something really strange happened. I don't have any explanation on how this happened. But the moment that we started the boss, my game crashed, as you can see, and this that you're seeing, the black screen, is in real time. I have not edited this in any kind of way. And I was doing my very best to log in as quickly as possible So I was out tap at this moment, but as soon as I got in, I instantly logged Fresh To Bis, and the problem, Fresh To Bis was outside of the raid, just like it happened some episodes before. Fresh To Bis was stuck on the outside. I don't know, I don't have any explanation on how and why this exactly happened. A good thing was that the group actually wiped, so Fresh To Bis can give it another attempt at the boss. I don't know the exact reason why the group wiped, but we're gonna give it another shot. And this is gonna be the third attempt that we're actually going to do at the boss. And I had a strange feeling because like the group was, we already had like 10 people swapped out. And as you can see on the first meteor, we have a mage who died to the flames. We had a shaman who died to the flames. We also lost the druid from group 3, and like it was basically a complete mess. I didn't actually know if we were gonna be able to kill the boss, but for the second time we fell badly on phase 1. And by the way, as I told you, we have a lot of people already replaced in the group, but the fun starts in the second phase. When we got inside, I had the job to give the first hand of freedom to the soul consumption target. I perfectly know how to do this. I've done this Ruby Sanctum heroic with a Paladin a lot of times. As you can see, I have freedom on a macro, but once the shaman got the soul consumption, I got a little bit distracted and actually forgot to give him freedom, but he had nitro boots and he even managed to escape without a problem. But as you can see, the tank didn't move the boss on time and 3 people died from the cutter. It was not only me, because I was not expecting the cutter to be like 10 yards from the group. And guess what happened? I got kicked from the group and even I got banned from this guy's Discord. Like, he kicks and bans everyone except his friends, of course, because a lot of other people actually failed. Like, for example, the mage who died to a meteor strike, whispering me to argue with me after the raid, and I just link him his death from a meteor strike. He didn't get kicked, he even went and done another attempt. And of course there was no more arguing after I sent him the SCADA report of his death. Like, that's a little bit toxic behavior for me, because you kick a person who fails once. I know that I made a mistake, I'm not perfect, but you keep other people who are failing like 10 times and are performing extremely bad. After that you complain about, oh, I cannot kill the boss. Well, to be honest, at the end I asked and they didn't kill the boss, so the raid fell apart and nobody got the kill even after he kicked me, so that changed nothing. But yeah, the game continues and we can finally give it another shot at Mr. Pinchy. But sadly, this is going to happen in the next episode and you are going to find out if we actually caught Mr. Pinchy, and you're gonna see what happened with Iron Jaw. Thank you for watching the video till now, for the people who stayed to the end, and see you in the next one.